Welcome to Unit 1 of Veterinary Physiology, focusing on the blood, cardiovascular, muscular, and nervous systems. Our speaker today is Dr. Anamika Pandey, PhD, from GNP Sir classes. Let's start with some data-based FAQs. Total body water is 60%, measured by antipyrine radioactive water. Extracellular fluid makes up 20%, and intracellular fluid accounts for 40%. Blood volume is 8% of body weight. The biophysical characteristics of blood include its specific gravity, which ranges from 1.042 to 1.052 in domestic animals. Plasma protein concentration is a key factor in determining this specific gravity. A centrifuged blood sample separates into plasma, the buffy coat, and red blood cells. This visual helps us understand the different components of blood. The normal pH of blood is 7.4. Arterial blood is more alkaline than venous blood due to higher H+ ions and lower CO2 levels. Blood is composed of plasma and cellular elements like RBCs, WBCs, and platelets. Blood maintains homeostasis, transports oxygen and nutrients, removes waste, and regulates acid-base balance. It also plays a role in defense against microorganisms. Plasma is the fluid part of uncoagulated blood, while serum is the clear liquid that separates when blood coagulates. Plasma contains fibrinogen, which is absent in serum. Plasma proteins, synthesized in the liver, include albumin, globulins, and fibrinogen. They help in osmotic pressure regulation and blood coagulation. Blood cell production starts with stem cells in the bone marrow, which differentiate into various types of blood cells, including erythrocytes, leukocytes, and platelets. Hematopoiesis involves the formation of blood cellular components. Prenatal stages include the yolk sac, liver, and bone marrow, while postnatal stages involve bone marrow participation up to 20 years of age. Erythropoiesis is the process of red blood cell development, starting from stem cells and progressing through various stages until mature erythrocytes are formed. Erythrocytes are 4 to 7.5 micrometers in diameter, lack mitochondria, and are responsible for oxygen transport. Each RBC contains 280 million hemoglobin molecules and has a lifespan of 100 to 160 days. The number of RBCs, leukocytes, and platelets varies among species. For example, goats have the largest number of RBCs per unit volume and the smallest cell diameter. Hemoglobin is a chromoprotein that transports oxygen and carbon dioxide. It consists of 4 globin subunits, each with a heme group containing iron. Heme is a metalloporphyrin with a cyclic tetrapyrrole structure. It contains a central iron and is essential for oxygen binding in hemoglobin. Hemoglobin can bind 4 oxygen molecules, turning bright red when oxygenated and blue when deoxygenated. This mechanism is crucial for oxygen transport in the body. Hemoglobin derivatives include oxyhemoglobin, myoglobin, carbohemoglobin, carboxyhemoglobin, and methemoglobin, each with distinct functions and properties. Oxyhemoglobin binds oxygen, while deoxyhemoglobin does not. Carboxyhemoglobin has a high affinity for carbon monoxide, and carbaminohemoglobin transports CO2. Methemoglobin contains Fe3+ instead of Fe2+. Myoglobin is a single-chain globular protein that transports oxygen in muscle cells. It is also a marker of myocardial damage and has a different oxygen dissociation curve compared to hemoglobin. Heme biosynthesis occurs in the bone marrow and liver, involving substrates like succinyl-CoA and glycine. Key intermediates include ALA and porphobilinogen, with ALA synthase as the regulatory enzyme. Hemoglobin breakdown involves the destruction of red blood cells in the spleen and liver, leading to the release of hemoglobin, which is then broken down into heme and globin. Heme is further degraded into biliverdin and bilirubin, which are processed by the liver and excreted as bile pigments. Hemoglobin exists in different forms, including adult hemoglobin, HbA, fetal hemoglobin, HbF, and sickle hemoglobin, HbS. Each type has unique subunits and properties, with HbF having a higher affinity for oxygen and HbS being associated with sickle cell anemia. Thrombopoiesis is the process of platelet production, starting from stem cells and progressing through various stages to form mature platelets, which are essential for blood clotting. Hemostasis is the process of stopping bleeding, which involves blood clotting and the subsequent dissolution of the clot. It includes steps like vessel injury, vascular spasm, platelet plug formation, and coagulation. Vasoconstriction involves the contraction of smooth muscles in blood vessels, which is triggered by the release of serotonin and vasoconstrictor substances like thromboxane A2 from activated platelets. Platelet plug formation begins when platelets come into contact with a ruptured blood vessel, releasing ADP and thromboxane A2. These substances attract more platelets, leading to the formation of a platelet plug. The process of platelet plug formation involves several steps, including the release of prostacyclin to prevent adhesion, aggregation of platelets, and the release of platelet factors to attract more platelets and form a stable plug. Platelets play a crucial role in hemostasis by forming clots at the site of vessel injury, primary hemostasis, and enhancing the activation of coagulation factors to solidify the clot with fibrin, secondary hemostasis. The general mechanism of coagulation involves a cascade of reactions where clotting factors activate each other, leading to the conversion of prothrombin to thrombin, which then converts fibrinogen to fibrin, forming a stable clot. The coagulation cascade is a series of steps triggered by tissue damage, leading to the formation of a blood clot. It involves the activation of prothrombin to thrombin and fibrinogen to fibrin, resulting in clot formation. Clotting factors are essential for the coagulation process, each with specific roles and characteristics. They work together in a complex pathway to ensure proper blood clotting. The clotting cascade involves intrinsic and extrinsic pathways, with the intrinsic pathway being slower. Both pathways converge to form a common pathway that leads to the formation of a stable blood clot. Fibrinolysis is the process of breaking down fibrin in blood clots, primarily through the activity of plasmin, an enzyme that hydrolyzes fibrin and dissolves the clot. Endothelial cells produce several inhibitors of hemostasis, including prostaglandin I2, thrombomodulin, and heparins, which help regulate blood clotting and maintain vascular health. Coagulation disorders, such as hemophilia A and B, result from deficiencies in specific clotting factors. Other causes include vitamin K malabsorption and excessive activation or inhibition of coagulation factors. Various anticoagulants are used in blood coagulation and transfusion processes, including sodium fluoride, sodium citrate, and EDTA, which help preserve blood and prevent clotting during medical procedures. The discovery of blood groups by Karl Landsteiner revolutionized blood transfusion. Blood groups are determined by antigens on the surface of RBCs, with antibodies causing agglutination or homolysis if incompatible blood types are mixed. Blood groups in animals vary significantly, with different species having unique antigen systems. For example, dogs have 8 blood group systems, while cattle have 10, and pigs have 13, each with specific antigenic properties. The cardiovascular system includes the heart's chambers, with the right atrium being thin-walled and low pressure, while the left ventricle has a very thick wall to pump blood throughout the body. The myocardium, the heart's muscular layer, consists of different types of muscle fibers, including contractile, pacemaker, and conductive fibers. Cardiac muscle fibers are branched, unlike skeletal muscle fibers. The heart's conductive system is crucial for transmitting impulses from the SA node to the atria and ventricles, ensuring efficient heart function. The speed of these impulses varies across different parts of the conductive system, with the highest velocity in Purkinje fibers. Heart valves ensure unidirectional blood flow, with atrioventricular valves and semilunar valves playing key roles. The mitral and tricuspid valves prevent backflow into the atria, while semilunar valves prevent backflow into the ventricles. The heart's actions are categorized into 4 types, focusing on the frequency, force, and duration of heart activity. Blood vessel thickness and diameter are crucial, with arteries and arterioles offering resistance and veins acting as capacitance vessels. The systemic and pulmonary circulations are essential for oxygenating blood and distributing it throughout the body. This diagram illustrates the pathways and processes involved in these circulations. Cardiac muscle has unique properties, including excitability, rhythmicity, conductivity, and contractility, which enable it to respond to stimuli and maintain regular heartbeats. The cardiac action potential involves 4 phases, starting with rapid sodium channel opening and ending with potassium ion efflux. Each phase is crucial for the heart's electrical activity and muscle contraction. Resting membrane potential varies across different cardiac muscle fibers, with the SA node having the highest rhythmicity. This table highlights the differences in potential and rhythmicity among various parts of the heart. The refractory period is when the cardiac muscle does not respond to stimuli, ensuring proper heart function. Cardiac muscle has a longer refractory period than skeletal muscle, preventing issues like tetanus. The cardiac cycle consists of atrial and ventricular events, including systole and diastole phases. Each phase is crucial for efficient heart function and blood circulation. The cardiac cycle produces distinct heart sounds, with the first and second sounds being the most prominent. These sounds are associated with valve closures and are essential for diagnosing heart conditions. Cardiac murmurs are abnormal heart sounds caused by issues like valve incompetence or stenosis. This table lists the types and causes of murmurs, aiding in diagnosis and treatment. Electrocardiography is the technique for studying the heart's electrical activities. The electrocardiograph records these activities, producing an electrocardiogram (ECG) for analysis. Fetal circulation differs from postnatal circulation, with blood bypassing the lungs and using the placenta for nutrient and gas exchange. Key structures like the foramen ovale and ductus arteriosus facilitate this process. Blood pressure is measured in systolic, diastolic, pulse, and mean arterial pressure. Understanding these terms is crucial for assessing cardiovascular health. Various hormones regulate arterial blood pressure, either increasing or decreasing it. This table lists these hormones and their effects, highlighting the complexity of blood pressure regulation. Baroreceptors in the carotid sinus and aorta wall play a vital role in regulating blood pressure by responding to changes in vessel stretch and sending signals to the brain. The kidneys regulate blood pressure long-term through mechanisms like renin-angiotensin. When blood pressure drops, renin secretion increases, leading to angiotensin II production and blood pressure elevation. The muscular system includes skeletal, smooth, and cardiac muscles, each with distinct locations and functions. This diagram categorizes these muscle types for better understanding. Skeletal, smooth, and cardiac muscles differ in structure, control, and function. This table highlights these differences, emphasizing the unique characteristics of each muscle type. Muscle structure involves connective tissue layers, including the epimysium, paramysium, and endomysium. These layers protect and organize muscle fibers, ensuring efficient function. The structure of muscle fibers includes various components such as the nucleus, muscle fiber, mitochondrion, and sarcomere. The sarcomere is the functional unit of muscle contraction. Each muscle fiber contains numerous myofibrils, which are composed of myosin and actin filaments. The sarcomere, delineated by Z discs, is the basic contractile unit. The sarcomere's structure includes various bands and zones, with the myosin head exhibiting ATPase activity crucial for muscle contraction. Myosin filaments consist of 6 polypeptide chains, while actin filaments are composed of actin, tropomyosin, and troponin, which play key roles in muscle contraction. During muscle contraction, actin filaments slide inward among myosin filaments, facilitated by calcium ion release from the sarcoplasmic reticulum. Excitation contraction coupling involves the release of calcium ions, exposing myosin binding sites on actin molecules, leading to muscle contraction. The process of skeletal muscle contraction involves the binding of ATP to myosin, leading to the power stroke and subsequent muscle contraction. Rigor mortis is the post-mortem stiffening of muscles, indicating molecular death and time since death, with faster onset at higher temperatures. Smooth muscle lacks striations, sarcomeres, and troponin, with a slower cycling of myosin cross bridges compared to skeletal muscle. The cardiac muscle cell's action potential has a plateau phase, providing a longer refractory period, preventing tetany and ensuring proper heart function. Muscle fibers are categorized into slow oxidative and fast glycolytic types, each with distinct characteristics and functions. Nervous tissue consists of neurons and glial cells, which are responsible for transmitting and processing information in the brain. Myelin, produced by glial cells, insulates axons and facilitates the rapid transmission of electrical signals along the neuron. Continuous conduction is slow, while saltatory conduction is faster due to the myelination of axons, allowing rapid nerve impulse transmission. The action potential involves the movement of sodium and potassium ions across the cell membrane, generating a nerve impulse. The resting membrane potential is maintained by the Na+/K+ pump, which creates a polarized state essential for action potential generation. Exteroceptors are sensory receptors that respond to external stimuli, including pressure, temperature, and pain. Neurotransmitters can be excitatory or inhibitory, influencing the transmission of nerve impulses in the nervous system. Thank you for watching. Please comment, share, like, and subscribe to our channel for more informative content.